Good evening. I would like to call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for April 1st, 2026. If you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please, Mr. Rose.
No problem.
Apologies.
I thought I was being,
I was trying to.
man,
I was just trying to see if he was.
already lost that
I was trying to see if he was on his toes.
April Fool's there.
April Fool.
It was April Fool's.
Yeah, all right, Carl, you did it.
All right, here we go. Roll call. Mrs. Lucci.
Present.
Mr. Wartell.
Present.
Mr. Dondorf.
Present. And moving into our approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the March 18th, 2026 special meeting minutes.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I vote to approve the March 18, 2026 regular trustee meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And moving into our elected officials reports this evening, starting us off will be our fiscal officer, Mr. John Patriarca.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer. Wasn't sure if Mr. Rose was gonna take over the fiscal report as well. But
I am not.
I'll give it a shot. It's been an active few weeks in the fiscal office. I'll attempt to keep my report relatively brief. I know we have a busy agenda this evening. Wrapped up the month of March late last night. My office continues to tie up and reconcile all transactions within the township. I'll have a full financial report for the board prepared for our second monthly meeting. I continue to work with Administrator Rose and Bond Council to secure our final piece of funding for the construction of Fire Station 2, which we're going to hear more about later this evening as well. I was also able to attend the JED board meeting last week alongside Administrator Rose again. It's great to attend those meetings and really keep up with the economic development within the township, kind of understand how the future of that development may shape our community and what services and what we're going to need to dedicate to that potential development in terms of road, EMS, safety services, just kind of having that comprehensive picture and making sure that we keep that in our head and in our mind for 3, 5, 7 years down the road to make sure that we keep the community developing and on the path that we want moving forward. So I thought that was a very productive meeting. It's nice to see that the JED board does have 2 past Concord Township board members, so they certainly are looking out for the township and our interests. So that was great. Also able to attend the Easter egg hunt at Fire Station 2 over the weekend. Fire Station 1 rather. I'm always thinking about Fire Station 2 right now. But Fire Station 1, it was fantastic. Our rec department does an amazing job as always. Sean and Susie did great. I think the kids really enjoyed it. It was a packed house. It was great to have an indoor venue because it was quite brisk. So I think that all the patrons, mainly the children under 5, including my daughter, appreciated that. So thank you to our rec department and our fire station for hosting us. And then the last thing, over the weekend, I actually exchanged a few emails and then a follow-up phone call with a resident, of course, in regards to property tax. They had sent me an article referencing some comments that the governor from Florida made in regards to a property tax comparison of purchasing a TV, paying a one-time sales tax on that device, and then the tax ends there. And I said, that's great. And I understand that. I said, when you buy that TV, you take it home, and then what do you do with it? Well, you plug it in and you start to watch your favorite show or movies, this or that. Okay, well, what's your favorite show? Well, it's a baseball game, or it's a movie, or it's a drama. Well, what do you watch it on? YouTube TV, DirecTV, Spectrum. These are services that you pay for, right? So yes, you own your TV, but if you want to use that TV and you want to watch certain shows or have certain services, there's an ongoing expense. And so I tried to kind of connect those two and say, hey, you buy your house, but there's ongoing services. You want roads, you want EMS, you want fire, you want police, you want all these things. It's not just a one-time purchase. So we had a good dialogue. I think that it was fairly productive. And so, anytime our residents, they see these stories and they're like, oh, that makes sense. why should I have to pay multiple times for a particular unit or a particular service, whatever it may be? And we kind of branch on, okay, listening to music, right? Used to be buy a CD, listen to that music forever. Well, now you pay $15 a month for Spotify or Apple Music or whatever that service may be, an ongoing service. And so I think it was a very productive conversation once we kind of got past the initial disagreement. But I think that it was productive, and I always get encouraged once I have a conversation with a resident, a friend, a family member, whoever it may be, that is, hey, we need to eliminate property tax. And I say, that's fine, but we need to fund certain services and make sure that our communities are safe. And until we have a mechanism to generate revenue that are going to support those services, we're putting ourselves in a compromised position, certainly at a township level, because we don't have the ability to generate revenue from an income tax to support our service department, our fire, our safety, so things that are certainly necessary components to have a safe community. So with that, I'll conclude my report, and I will yield back to the chair.
Thanks, John. Moving into our trustees' reports this evening, starting us off is Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And kind of like what you were saying, you really can't compare items that depreciate to services and living in a community. I really appreciate that argument. That's really kind of fascinating that you thought of that and had people kind of understand, what's important to us versus some of the limited thinking I think people think that what abolishing property taxes may give us. So thank you for that. Well, I hope everyone made it through the tornado warning. It sounds like Concord did okay in terms of not losing power. So hopefully that we're over this crazy weather. I know I said something about the crazy weather last time. I want to thank Dan Maxon for coming into office hours and talking a little bit to us about what his ideas are and plans are with the America 250 program. He's got lots of great ideas for Concord, just sprucing things up in all the little areas, and all those little things really add up, and we really appreciate what he does for Concord Township. It was great seeing everybody at the Easter egg hunt. I think it was over exactly an hour. It was amazing how people came and gone. And is also what you were mentioning with the JED and economic development. We had a lot of interest at our consultant booth where we talked about the comprehensive plan. A lot of people gave their input in terms of what they want to see Concord develop into, what they are not in favor of. So all that was really good discussion, and we thank our consultant for being there. Also, we are watching the traffic patterns on 44 and looking for any interruptions. I know Mr. Rose mentioned last time at our meeting, we haven't seen much action, right, Andy? And we're trying to keep everyone informed on our website about State Route 44 and some of the changing traffic patterns. So stay tuned to that. And that's really all I have. I hope everyone has a great Easter weekend.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. And Mr. Wortel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, a lot of duplicity here, but the Easter egg hunt, wow. It was an awesome event. It was my first time attending the event. My wife and Holly, we were driving up Ravenna Road, and we saw these cars. We're like, holy moly. And this place was packed, right? So although we don't have kids of age or grandkids yet, that attended it, we wanted to be a part of it and be a part of the community, which we were. We were so impressed with our team, and I can't say it enough. I say it every trustee meeting. Sean, Susie, Chief Zabo, congratulations on a job well done. We shown again, everybody that was there, smiles on everybody's faces. No kids fighting over Easter eggs. I thought the format was done really well, where empty eggs, boom, you go get it. Everything was seamless. Again, in and out in an hour. I just thought it was amazing. I got some great pictures I'm going to post on social media when I get a chance. It was also great to be able to have it indoors. I agree with John. Talked to Chief Zabo there in years past when it was outdoors. We ended up getting some medical calls for people slipping and falling, twisting an ankle. So that's a great idea, and we're blessed to have it, the ability to have it in Station 1. Right. The size of it, and I think you could add probably 50, maybe 100 more people, and still have plenty of space. But it was a job well done. I attended the steering committee meeting on Thursday, March 19th. It's a virtual meeting. The steering committee is made up of a group of residents, local business people, real estate developers, and agents who are also residents. representatives from the Riverside School Board, County Commissioner's Office, our former trustee, Zoning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals members, as well as township administrators. The meeting was led by Katie, our consultant, Katie Phillips. The committee's focus is on 4 priority development areas. They call them PDAs. The committee has been working on this since they had an open house and kind of got the community's input this past summer. And those 4 PDAs, priority development areas, are the town hall area that we're in right now, the former Quail Hollow Hotel and Resort, the Ravenna Road and Girdle Road intersection, and the town center and capital district. And these are probably the 4 major focal points, I think, for future development in our community. Whereas, you know, the Route 84, Button Road, Concord Plaza area is pretty much developed. But these are what the PDAs that they're focusing on. And they were on display, as Amy said. They were on display at the Easter egg hunt. And you got quite a few people were over there milling about and talking to our consultant. I had a chance to speak with a few of the residents that were there about what they thought and the progression and where they're seeing this go. And although I think a lot of the interest is focused around the town center in the capital district area, I think because of past proposals or thoughts that could go in that area. I thought what was really neat for me is that the Easter egg hunt, the people that I spoke with were really focused around town hall and what the vision of the steering committee is for that. Whether it be increased playground area, a potential pavilion, where the community wants to be community focused and centered. And I thought it was really cool that it wasn't as much about the development, which it is, but it was more about, okay, here we are at this Easter egg hunt, and they wanted to talk about, you know, a potential pavilion that could be utilized year round, or playground equipment, things like that. So that was really encouraging for me because, you know, I think we can get caught up in development. But at the end of the day, people want to live and be in their community and play in their community. So I thought that was pretty cool. My hat's off to the steering committee. It's not an easy task, but I think they're trying to give us an idea what the vision of Concord Township looks like. While at the Easter egg hunt, I too had a chance to talk to Dan and Jan. And, you know, they are historical fixtures in our township. And, you know, if we don't remember the past, we'll forget it, right? And I think that they're doing a really, really good job of making sure that they nudge us, you know, and they keep it focused that, you know, how do we know where we're going if we don't know where we've been, you know, in Concord Township? And that kind of plays into an experience I had this past weekend. Talked to a girl that ran into a girl that I had gone to grade school with at St. Gabriel's for 8 years, you know, and her family's, there's a road named after her family in our community. And she was, although we were talking about the future and what's Concord going to look like, she kept on bringing up what we grew up with and how can we make that a blend. And I said, well, isn't that what Concord is, though? You know, so I think it all kind of ties back and, you know, ties together really well if we keep that, you know, in our mindset. But talking to Dan and Jan, Dan is really promoting America 250, which he should, the birthday of our country. And there is a Concord Township Children Reading Challenge this summer. It's 13 books starting June 1st to August 31st. Now, I heard 13 books, and I don't know if I've ever read 13 books in my life, let alone in the summer, but they're all age appropriate. The list can be picked up at Township Hall or at the Community Center. I think we're going to try and get it online if I'm not mistaken. But the challenge is read these books, take a picture with your favorite book, and then turn it in. And then if they complete the challenge, we recognize them in our September meeting. Ironically, the books are focused all about the American Revolution and America 250, all about our history as a country. Awesome stuff.
Great.
Group near and dear to my heart, the Garden Club. The Garden Club will be holding its plant and bake sale from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on May 9th at the Concord Community Center. The Garden Club was organized in 1961. The Concord Township Garden Club was organized in 1961, and it's still going strong. I think it's awesome. So something that we support, we should support. they're passionate.
Yeah, very.
And I got to
great
get the
group.
schedule because my
Great
wife.
group.
I promised the garden club when I talked to him that my wife would show up for one of their meetings, and we got to make sure she does that soon. And lastly, well, two lastlies. We in about 10, 11 minutes, they're going to be launching Artemis 2. The rocket's going to be going around the moon, and I think we should all just take a moment and just think about that. Pray for their safe journey. That we are going on again to the next frontier. And I think it's pretty amazing that we all get to be alive and witness that and what can become, right?
Yep.
Lastly, we are blessed with an amazing team of administrators at Concord Township. And on March 30th, our own Susie Cobb celebrated a birthday, Recreation Department. And actually, today, 2 days after Susie's birthday, is Rachel Lamb's birthday, who's also at the Recreation Department. So congratulations to both Susie and Rachel. Happy birthday. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Good report.
Thanks.
Yeah, Dan and his wife, they're great volunteers in Concord Township. They've done a lot for the community and continues to do a lot, and we are very fortunate to have them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the Easter egg hunt this year. I had a prior commitment, but it's always a great event. I think the venue, it's Fire Station 1, was awesome. I saw the pictures, well attended. It's great to see how many people came and got involved or had conversation about the comprehensive plan, and it's great to see that moving forward. A lot going on, especially with Fire Station 2, which we're going to have some discussion on here momentarily. I did have some calls about the construction project that's going to be starting on Route 84 right in front of St. Gabriel. Some people had some questions and concerns. It looks like that ODOT project is involving some culvert work, and it's going to be, there's some traffic signals there, so it's going to be regulated directionally, so it's going to cause some delays. So I would urge people, if you can find an alternate route, if not, be patient, because it's going to be going down to one lane there for several months, right, Andy?
2 months.
2 months? Okay. So that will be going on there. We'll keep our eyes on that. Other than that, I wish everybody a happy Easter. And again, happy birthday, Susie and Rachel, and thank you for all that you do for Concord Township. With that, we will move into our departmental reports, and starting us off in administration will be, was it John or Andy? April Fools? No, we'll go with Andy.
Good recovery, good recovery.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer, members of the board, Mr. Patriarca, members of the audience, good evening. I'll start with the items on the agenda. Item A is Resolution 2026 TAC 13. That resolution covers the bond financing for Fire Station 2 in the amount of $4.25 million. Our bond counsel, Attorney Ryan Callender, he is here, and he will discuss this resolution when it comes up for consideration at the appropriate time. Item B is Resolution 2026 TAC 14. That approves the engagement letter with PFM Financial, who is our financial advisor and will be for the bonding process for Fire Station 2. This is the same team that we worked with to bond and finance Fire Station 1, and we're happy to work with them again. We all got along splendidly, and it's a good group. Item C is a purchase order to Byler's Roofing and Construction in the amount of $25,000. That is for a pole barn, which will house the rescue engine at the temporary Fire Station 2 once construction gets going. And then items D and E are votes for fire department personnel. So I encourage passage on those. Speaking of road construction, we have posted road construction information regarding State Route 84, State Route 44, and the work that will encompass Girdled and Auburn roads at the intersections by 44. As updates are received, we're pushing that information out on all our platforms. We put an update out yesterday, and we're working closely with ODOT to get those. And as they come in, we will push them out. There will be delays. There will be inconveniences. It's orange cone season in Ohio. They are in full bloom.
Yep.
Hometown Heroes banner is still being worked. I'm a bit disappointed we were unable to utilize the poles under AT&T's control. There is some contractual language that we cannot agree to, and we can't agree to it by law, and they won't budge, so we've lost the use of those potential poles. So we're waiting on First Energy's permission. I've reached out to them again yesterday afternoon to get a status update, so as soon as I receive it, we will launch that program. Concord Township tied into America 250. We're having an event on April 24th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. that starts at Old Stone School, and we will be discussing the 6 Revolutionary War veterans that are buried here, and then there is a short lantern walk to the cemetery. And just a reminder, there are a lot of America 250 events planned throughout the county. There's a list of events on the Lake County Visitors Bureau website. So if you go to tourlakecounty.com, there's a full calendar of America 250 events. And then I want to finish my report. I want to talk a little bit about property taxes. The possible elimination continues to dominate a good deal of real estate on social media. I'm amazed at the misinformation and the nonsense that's being put out. But the one issue I'd like to focus on tonight relates to an item that you're actually voting on today, and it's fortunate that Mr. Callender is here as well. Bonds, municipal township bonds, government finance bonds, they're backed by property taxes. That's ORC statute, Ohio Revised Code statute. Our Fire Station 1 bond is property tax based. Should property taxes be eliminated through this initiative, we, Concord Township, along with hundreds of other government entities, the way I understand it, we go in default because the contract's been breached because of the way that's written. And I think there's some conflicts with other parts of the Ohio Revised Code. That's very concerning to me because it cripples the financial health and, going out for OPWC financing, going out for other large road projects, whether it be ODOT's projects, the county jail is another example. It hurts our ability, and I think it will make financing projects going forward a lot more expensive. And so if I could impose on Mr. Callender, I'd love for him to touch on this issue just briefly on what the impact of eliminating property taxes is to the bond market, because I think that's a very important aspect that everybody's ignoring. Everybody thinks, oh, we can get rid of property taxes and I'll have extra money in my pocket and I can put up with a little bit of extra sales tax. No, it's going to be much worse than that. So if I could get you to touch on that for just a minute, Mr. Callender, that'd be great. Please and thank you.
So I'll cover a little bit of this when we cover the resolution, but to Mr. Rose's point, it's certainly a concern on our part, and I think the investor community in general. What we foresee happening, if there's enough signatures, and if it makes it to the ballot, if it passes, there will be immediately a number of lawsuits from investors. And keep in mind that for your bonds and for the county's bonds, the school district's bonds, there may be some what we call mom and pops, you and me, investing in that. But for the most part, it's large institutional investors. The big ones like BlackRock, Prudential, the highest funds in the country are the ones that are investing in your bonds. They're going to immediately file lawsuits and probably TROs to stop essentially the effectiveness of that provision. And the question will be how the court handles that as to whether, and I think I'm biased, but I think there's a very good federal constitutional argument that Mr. Dines hopefully appreciates, that you can't basically put something into law that violates an existing legal contract, and that's what you have with your bondholders. And so that's going to be the argument. I think most folks feel that it's a pretty successful argument. And so the question then is, does the court say, okay, property taxes stay in place for those existing bonds that are outstanding, everything else goes away? Or do they just say the provision is completely invalid because you can't have both at the same time? So that, and the suits are going to come against the township, it'll come against the school district, everyone who has issued bonds, which is a vast majority of political subdivisions in the state of Ohio.
I guess a follow-up question, if you don't mind. So, assuming we make those assumptions that if we get enough signatures, gets on the ballot, passes, do those TROs shield state bond ratings temporarily until there's a resolution, or is there an immediate impact on the state credit rating and potential investments moving forward? And in your opinion, what could that potentially look like in terms of, I don't want to call it a penalty, but basis points over average that now we're going to be susceptible to for the next 5, 10, 15 years every time we go to, make an investment in the community? Are we going to, will the TRO give us some shelter on a temporary basis, or is it, hey, yes, that's in place. Yes, the court may decide in your favor, but, the bond rating's going to somewhat take a hit immediately?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, none of us have a clear vision of what the future might hold, but I think basic economics would tell you investors are all about, what interest rate you pay is totally related to the assessment of the risk that the investor has of you paying it back. And if all of a sudden there is this brand new risk that you may not be able to pay it back, or that the pledge that you've made of the property taxes, which, by the way, that's not a choice that Concord Township makes, that's required by state law. That's how you can issue the bonds. It's not like you have another choice. And so when that risk analysis comes up, then, undoubtedly higher risk, higher interest rates, lower bond ratings. So, how everything truly plays out is just going to be seen. I mean, quite frankly, I think I was talking to Mr. Rose earlier. I think a lot of investment bankers and financial advisors feel that just if the moment that they are deemed to have enough signatures and that the question is on the ballot, there's going to be a correction in the market at that point.
Oh, yeah, issue right there.
And so, undoubtedly interest rates will likely go up if it's just for that period between July and November.
Okay. Thank you for your insight.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank
Calver.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Great insight.
Andy, thank you for bringing it in.
Yep, if anyone wishes to discuss the impact of eliminating taxes, I am happy to discuss this issue with anybody, anytime. So that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you. Moving on to our fire department, Chief Sabo.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Chief.
I'm happy to report that I don't think we had any incidents related to the storm last night, so that was
great.
That was good.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
good news.
yeah, that was good news. It was more business as usual. We still had calls, but more not storm related, so that was good. But for the month of March, we had 305 total incidents, including 197 EMS events with 160 transports, 108 non-EMS events, 6 fires. Inside at Concord, we had 4 fires, a cooking fire, a forest fire, woods fire kind of thing, a grass fire, and a building fire. Outside of Concord, we assisted with 2 structure fires. We gave mutual aid 16 times, received mutual aid 7 times, and had 127 overlapping calls for about 42%. So remember, I was reporting it's kind of going down. Well, now it just spiked back up. So 40% is about where we're hovering. So Fire Prevention Bureau, again, very busy. 71 inspections for about 108 hours, 4 plan reviews. They participated in about 20 hours of continuing education. Our fire, one of our full-time fire inspectors, Doug Rott, he's an inspector instructor, and there was a new fire code update. We put that notice on resolution. So, but he's taken on the role of helping to educate all the inspectors in our area on the new updates. So he had about a 4 or 5 hour class yesterday that he headed up. So that's been going on. In terms of public education, we did CPR class for a commercial business. We just finished a 2-day American Red Cross babysitter class, very well attended for about 7 students, but that's a good number. Again, the Easter egg hunt, amazing. We handed out almost about 200 bags with fire prevention and education material, some stuff for the kids, some stuff for the parents, just safety tips, home safety plan, escape plans, that kind of stuff. And we're blessed to have that facility, and not just for the fire department, but for the township, for the whole community. You think back, we never had that opportunity to do that kind of stuff, and there was no opportunity for an indoor venue for those kind of events. And we're just, I don't know if you noticed, but like we do a lot. We do a lot of education, community involvement, whether it's through classes or outreach. But we enjoy having the community in our house, and it kind of ties into that hometown feel, right? I mean, that's the fire station is always like the central hub of the community because it's safe and there's space, right? So we're honored to be part of that. We have an upcoming, get this, pet CPR. I never imagined. It's amazing. Our class is over full. We had to move the class to the apparatus bay. It's coming up, but it is full. We had to cut it off somewhere, right? So we have a waiting list right now. So stay tuned. If you're on the waiting list, we'll try to get you, right? So it's phenomenal. And I think I reported last month, Trinity Veterinary Clinic in Montville is our partner on that, and they got that grant for CPR dog mannequins and I think cat mannequins, and just an amazing opportunity. Smoke alarms, we responded to 5 homes to inspect, service, and replace batteries. No new detectors were needed or installed in March, so hopefully people are all set. We did install 5 residential Knox boxes and had none returned. Over the last couple weeks or so, I'm going to get more, this is very preliminary, I'll get more into it as we go on, but we're preparing for our administrative assistant, Karen Pierce, to retire. And after 26 years of service to this community and our department, and she handed me her letter today, and that's tough. And so we set out advertisements. We got over 60 applications for that position. Over 60 applications. We shortlisted to 6, and then we interviewed 2 for second interviews. So we're close to making a decision on that. But it's not an easy spot to fill, and we got some quality applications. And we talked to some amazing people. So we're looking forward to that transition. So at the next meeting, we hope to have it before you to approve our recommendation. Lastly, and I love this part every year. And it's actually really early this year, that we got our 2025 annual report. That is my honor to present to the Board of Trustees. This is just a summary a very in-depth summary of the activities of Concord Fire Department over last year. And of course, it'll be on our website, a link provided on the website, and I'll be sure to email it all to you. So.
Thanks, Chief.
Chief, I appreciate it.
Yep, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Talking about Chief and the community involvement, while we were at the Easter egg hunt, I introduced Chief to a friend of mine who recently moved up on Eagle Ridge, and he had his little boy with him. And he said to Chief, he says, could I ever bring my kid by the fire station, you know? And Chief's like, oh yeah. And the guy's like, what do I have to do? And he goes, just show up. And, you know, Chief's like, well, not at 3 in the morning, but if you can show up, you can show up anytime. And that's, I agree with you, the hub of the community.
Yeah.
100%. And rumor has it that you're drawing straws to get the cans out of the bin. There's so many in there, I heard, right?
It is
The little
overwhelming.
cans.
Thought we were
Yeah.
gonna get away with the can.
Well, I was going to comment that our collection's a little low, so
Oh.
we need you to,
Oh,
we
come
need
on.
you to step
Concord,
up.
let's go. Give us aluminum cans.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks,
Thank
Steve.
you.
I couldn't let that one.
Service Department, Tim Brown.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Thank you, Chief.
Just to kind of reiterate what the chief said about the storm last night, Concord fared very well. Our crews went out this morning, just did some minor cleanups on some roadways where we had some debris. All of our drainage areas held up real well. We had a little bit of debris in some blocked areas. That's all been cleared, so no flooding that was reported to us at all. So we did real well that last night.
Good job, Tim.
Yeah, great job.
In the month of March, the Service Department responded to 4 call-outs for snow and ice conditions, applying 127 tons of salt. The township also received their last order of salt for the year, and we have approximately 850 tons on site, which we hope to carry on until December of 2026.
Let's hope so.
We hope to. The crew continues pothole patching, ditch maintenance, annual road evaluations. In addition to those things, the Service Department performed tree removal and grading at the site of temporary Fire Station 2 to get it ready for the build of the pole barn. The yard waste drop-off opened on March 30th and will run through June 5th. Hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 2:30 p.m. Residents are reminded the yard waste must be in paper biodegradable bags. The annual brush day collections are scheduled for Saturdays, May 2nd and May 16th from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents can drop off brush no larger than 4 inches in diameter. No lumber, railroad ties, landscape timber, or stumps are permitted. The yard waste will also be available to residents on those dates. Our OPWC project, Concord Township was awarded a $100,000 grant and a $150,000 interest-free loan for Cascade Road Resurfacing Project, Phase 1. This project is scheduled to begin in May, the second week of May, weather permitting, of course. The Service Department and Lake County engineers will be performing some necessary repairs prior to the resurfacing, and a road closure for approximately 2 weeks will probably take place second to third week of April. Concord Township 2026 Joint Road Resurfacing Project has gone out to bid, and we are looking forward to the bid opening on April 8th. Concord Township roads included in this year's projects are Orchard Road, North Orchard Road, Stewart Drive, Harper Drive, Marlowe Drive, and Cascade Road Phase 2. So basically Cascade Road will be completely resurfaced this year. The Service Department encourages residents to contact us with questions or concerns at 440-350-3225 or by email at concordtwp.com under service. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks. Moving on, our zoning department, our zoning director, Heather Freeman.
Good evening.
Evening.
So during the month of March, the zoning department started to get a little bit busy again with permit activity, with 33 zoning permits being approved. We collected about $3,500 in application fees. The vast majority of the permits were for residential projects. We approved 10 new fences, 9 accessory buildings, 5 decks, 3 new homes. 3 new businesses came to Concord, 2 additions to residential dwellings, and 1 new swimming pool. The new businesses include Four Corners Healthcare LLC, The Perfect Massage, and Elevate Cryo and Wellness. Additionally, during the month of March, staff completed 68 zoning permit inspections and issued 19 certificate of zoning compliance for projects that were completed. As always, if residents have any questions, feel free to reach out to our office with any questions you may have.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
Recreation Department, and we have Susie Cobb here this evening to make a report for Sean. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. As everyone has already talked about, we did have our Easter egg hunt on Saturday at Fire Station number 1. Just with a brief chat, whatever they're called. We had well over about 300 people just with pictures that I took. So it was packed. We really appreciate everyone who came out and supported the event. The amount of positive comments, not only about the event, but about what the rec department is offering lately was very overwhelming. I know Sean and I both heard many, many, many people talk about that. It's always great to hear positive news, especially a big thank you to the fire department for opening up their space for us to use, helping out with putting on a great event. The service department helped us to transport everything over. It does take a team. It's a big team that we get to work with every week, all the time. It's amazing to have a space available that is not only to run events, but more importantly for the community to see how the station is used in other ways and to keep us warm on a very cold, freezing morning. Thanks to our facility attendants and staff for working the event, along with Dan and Jan Maxon and First Federal Bank for donating some of the baskets that we were able to give away. It looks like another successful event, and we look forward to what is coming next. I have to just comment about the empty eggs. I think it is so cool for those little babies to pick up empty eggs because they want empty boxes, they want empty eggs, they just have that. But then to be able to walk away with something that was age appropriate for them, I think that is such a great idea that Sean came up with that we started last year. Seniors, we have our 55 plus group events. Reminder that all 55 plus socials are on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Today we had a presentation by Dennis Sutcliffe called How I Saved the World from Y2K. April 15th is a Lunch and Learn program featuring Women in History presentation, which is a presentation on Eleanor Roosevelt. That Lunch and Learn is filled, but we do have space that we can have people come afterwards and watch just the presentation. April 22nd is Spring Cleanup Bingo. Our next foot care appointments are on April 7th and 21st with Dr. Sharp, and then also April 27th with Dr. Saxton. This continues to be a huge, very popular event or program that we have. They fill up. We actually just added a second date to Dr. Sharp's schedule. And just give us a call and we will get you on the schedule for them. Everybody is so grateful to be able to come and not have to go into the doctor's office to have their toenails and everything taken care of. We have an AARP driving safety course class on Thursday, April 23rd from 10 to 2:30 at the community center. We still have spots open for that. And then we're teaming up with Apex Skincare again this year on Wednesday, April 29th from 1 to 3 at the community center. They're offering free skin spot checks. So just give us a call and we'll be able to get you scheduled for that. Youth classes and camps. Next session of our dance class, which if you are ever in the area, you could just see these little ones dancing. They are so stinking cute. The next one starts on Thursday, April 23rd. Times vary depending on the age of the kids, but the range is from 2 to 6 years old. We also have our very popular rookie sports program that is filling up very quickly. Wednesday, April 15th through May 13th is soccer. We have just a few spots open for the 3 to 4 year olds, and then 5 to 7 years old are already filled. So that is huge filled. We have rookie sports, t-ball and coach pitch baseball that will be starting in, in June, on June 9th. And we still have two sessions for 3 and 4 year olds, and there are some spots left in that. And then we also have coach pitch, which we have only 10 spots left in. So that program is awesome, yeah. Tennis camp is taught by our very own facility attendant and tennis coach, Paul Engel. There'll be one in June and in August for ages 4 to 12 year olds. Please check our website, we have that up. Then we have a summer art camp that is taught by mentor teacher Heidi Toot. She's done this in the past. We didn't have her last year, but we've had her several other times, and it is such a fun camp. That will be June 1st through the 5th, And then she's doing a second week, June 8th through the 12th from 9 to noon, ages 5 to 13. I know the June 8th is almost filled, so get your kiddos registered for that. And then we have a Future Fashion Star Camp this summer, which is July 20th through the 24th from 9 to 12. And this is for kids that have a fashion for fashion and creativity. They're going to learn skills for instance, with design, sewing, and also we'll end up with a showcase for family and friends to look at afterwards. So that's new. And then just last week, we added a camp for Robot Academy Lego robot building and coding. It's a one-day camp. There will be one for July 14th and July 30th. The camp will be from 10 to 4. It's designed for ages pre-K to 8th grade. Kids are going to be able to build and code their own Lego robots using Scratch. Then they'll put them to test with fun challenges with battle bots and flag football, and there's no experience necessary. That's been fun for us to put together. There's somebody coming up from Columbus that reached out to us to do that.
Wow.
So, yeah. We have adult exercise class. We have a newer gentle chair yoga on Mondays from 11 to 12 with Lindsay Dropkey. She starts another session on April 6th, this next Monday. And of course, we have Colleen Stone, who teaches yoga Pilates fusion on Wednesday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. We have other adult programs, artificial intelligence, that our very own Citizen of the Year, John Paganini, is going to be teaching starting tomorrow from 6:30 to 7:30. And there's definitely plenty of space that we can have more people register for that. The foundation of this class is how AI is already used in our everyday life, and also how we can use it in our personal life. This will be Thursdays, April 2nd through the 23rd. Dear friends of mine, of my families, Nate and Carolyn Miller are offering a bouquet making class on April 30th at 6 through the Red Truck Flower Farm. It is going to be so much fun. Everybody will leave with their own flower bouquet. This is the first time they've done anything with us, and they are just the sweetest people. So I hope that we just fill our building with people. And then Mr. Maxon is offering a Ohio boater education course starting May 11th, and it will be Monday, May 11th and May 18th from 6 to 10. Ohio law requires all motorized boats and personal watercraft operators born before January 1st of 1982 to pass a course and carry an education card. Participants must attend both dates. This is geared from 12 and up. The cost is $10 per participant. In conjunction with that, he is also offering to host 2026's Vessel Safety Check at the Community Center. This is where our residents can bring in their boats or PWCs on Wednesday, May 20th from 6:30 to 8, or Saturday, May 23rd from 9 to 12. And people will be able to have their items checked for free through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. Just give us a call at the office and we will get you pre-registered for that before you get to go out on the waters over Memorial Day weekend. So, and as Andy already mentioned, we have our kickoff at the Old Stone School, which would be April 24th from 7 to 8:30 with an open house, and then Dan is going to kick off the America 250 Cemetery and Lantern Hike, so that will be a lot of fun. Okay, one more thing. He said that is going to be a long update tonight. Special events. We have our photo contest that is currently accepting its submissions through today. I'm sure I would take them tomorrow too. The categories are nature, places, people, black and white, unique Concord scenes, and America 250. The submissions can be made right online, but as we have had several people who have a hard time doing that, do not worry, just give us a call. I will help you all day tomorrow if I need to be able to get pictures into that. The voting will take place starting April 14th through the 26th, and then we'll announce the winner after the 28th of April. Please visit our website, and we'll have all that, and social media, and we'll have all that information on there. We also have our indoor garage sale that runs April 17th from 11 to 3, and Saturday, April 18th from 9 to 1. Admission is free, and all of our tables are filled. Please be sure to check out the Grapevine to see all the upcoming events that are coming with the concert series, which begins Thursday, June 4th from 6:30 to 8:30. The first band will be Churchill Basement playing hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as well as there'll be plenty of information about the Community Day, which is August 8th, and we will be releasing much more information as we get closer to that. As always, please give us a call in the office. We are more than happy to help serve. We love, Rachel, Sean, and I absolutely love serving Concord. Happy birthday to my very, very dear friend Rachel Lamb, and I'm so glad we get to share birthdays really close to each other. But our phone number is 440-639-4650. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Susie. A lot going
A
on.
lot going on in Concord Township.
Okay, moving on to our law enforcement report. Lake County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Sam Ramuslo, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so for the month of March, we had approximately 900 calls for service, 160 traffic stops, 22 of those were citations, 160 of those were warnings. We had 5 damage accidents that we investigated and 8 injury accidents. In reference to arrests, we had an adult female for possession of criminal tools and drug paraphernalia, an adult male for OVI and reasonable control, an adult male for a warrant arrest for failure to appear, adult male for domestic violence and assault, an adult male for OVI, an adult female for OVI. We had an adult male for domestic violence and assault, and an adult male for OVI and refusal. For some open investigations, we have a hit skip accident on State Route 84, drug possession investigation. We had an assisted tri-point for a female with diminished mental capacity that had taken out from the hospital, who we quickly were able to get. We had an accident investigation where a tow truck driver towing another truck ran himself over. He's fine, thankfully. We have a theft investigation off of Prouty and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. That's all I have.
Thanks for keeping our
Thanks.
streets safe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you, sir.
That completes our departmental reports for this evening, and moving on to our audience portion. If there anybody would like to come up and address the board, you can do so by coming to the podium here and stating your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, we will move on to old business. Seeing that we have none, we will move into new business, and we have several votes this evening.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve Resolution 2026-13, providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $4,250,000 for the purpose of constructing, furnishing, and equipping fire station buildings and improving the sites thereof, together with all necessary appurtenances thereto.
I second that.
Okay, this is great. Well, what I'd like to do before you have any discussion is to again bring up our bond counsel, Mr. Ryan Callender, sort of give us some further insight into this resolution. It's great to have you here as always, and thank you.
Always. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Again, Ryan Callender, my partner at Squire Patton Boggs in Cleveland, Ohio. As many of you know, maybe more importantly to me, I grew up here in Concord, and I raised my kids here too. So Concord's an important place to me. The resolution you have in front of you, I know, is rather voluminous. Believe it or not, every single word, every single provision has its place and has its necessity. So a bond resolution essentially creates parameters. for the actual sale of bonds. So you'll note, Ms. Lucci, when you read the caption, it's a maximum principal amount of $4,250,000. That means it could be issued in a lesser amount if for some reason that is what is desired at the time of the sale of the bonds. There's also a maximum interest rate, which is a very high rate of 7%. Certainly don't intend for that to get anywhere close to that, and it's up to the folks at the time to actually determine what the appropriate interest rate is at the sale. It would certainly not be close to 7%. It also provides for this will be publicly offered. And so it provides for the creation of what's referred to as an official statement, which is essentially an investor prospectus about the township. You had one done when you did this 5 years ago. It's actually, once it is complete, it is a very helpful document and would encourage all of you to not only to kind of take a look at it as it's being developed, but after it's done, have it. I mean, you've got basically every demographic and financial information you'd want about the township that's in there. This is governed by securities law, by federal securities law. So the goal is always to have, or the rule is that any information that would be important to a quote-unquote reasonable investor, we're still not sure who that is, but that's what the law says, reasonable investor, if it's important to them to make an investment decision, that's what has to go in here. So for example, Mr. Rose's discussion about property tax abolition, that we're going to have some discussion in here about that because we feel that that would be important for an investor to know that this is going on. But for the most part, this is demographic and statistical information for the township. This will be taken and broadcast once it's finalized, this being the official statement, to the investor community in general. We'll have a particular sales date that this will be sold with the help of the financial advisor, PFM, the contract which you approved earlier. And they have a system that is essentially eBay for bonds. So there will be bidding on the bonds at a particular time within a particular window with a cutoff, which is normally like 11 a.m. on the particular day. At that point, your folks can decide if you're willing to take it or not. You don't have to at that point if the interest rates do exceed what your expectations were. But if you do, then there's a certificate of award assigned, and that takes all the parameters that are listed within this resolution and fixes them into a particular and specific amounts, so specific principal amount, specific interest amount, specific maturity amounts, and whatnot. Other than that, well, I guess one other important item is that these will be sold as tax-exempt obligations. You can do that as a governmental entity. Governmental entity issuing bonds, the proceeds of which are for a governmental purpose. What that means is that for the holders, the interest can be tax-exempt depending upon their particular situation. And more importantly to you, what that means is lower interest rate for you. Having said that, federal government looks at this as a subsidy, and so I always encourage my clients to look at it as a subsidy, if that's what the federal government is looking at it as, meaning that there are certain things we have to keep tabs on. We have to spend down the money in an appropriate manner. Can't hold on to it for a long time and earn arbitrage. And obviously it has to be used for governmental purposes, which we're not, we don't have any concern here with the fire station. If at some point you decide to, sell the fire station before the bonds are, before the bonds have come due, then that's, that can be an issue. But, it's basic things like that. With that, I would be happy to answer any particular questions that you have.
Oh, I think that was a great explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I think it's important to have your explanation, your expertise, and have it for our community and the residents of Township so they understand moving forward how this is involved. So thank you very much, Ryan.
Happy to do so. Thank you.
That's
John, do you have any questions?
it's a roll call vote when you get to the
Any
appropriate.
discussion?
Nope, no questions, and I just appreciate the time and the continued effort. It's Mr. Rose and I are in constant contact with our council, and we certainly appreciate even some of the finer points that may be slightly above my head, and just making sure in terms of government contracts and things of this nature, it's certainly useful to have that insight. So thank you very much, and we will be leaning on you moving forward. So
Takes a team. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to vote to, motion to, am I ready?
Nope,
We
motion's
already-
already done
Yeah,
by,
roll call.
we're in a
vote.
discussion, we just need
Yes,
roll
I'm
call.
sorry.
Yeah, I guess
all right.
for discussion, I just wanted to say, you know, we've have experience with Mr. Calendar, and we
Yeah.
have very good experience with Mr. Calendar, and we learned so much from you the first time.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for spelling out how this goes for us again, and for our residents that are supporting this as well. So thank you.
Yeah, and we're at an exciting juncture to finally be at this position where we're going to be in the ground here shortly on Station 2, and it's been a long journey, but it's been very beneficial, and it's going to be great for the community.
Well needed.
Yeah.
Well needed.
Roll call vote.
Mrs. Lucci,
Yes.
Mr. Wartell,
Yes.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Yes. Okay, moving on.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to pass Resolution 2026-14, approving the engagement letter with PFM Financial Advisors LLC to serve as the financial advisor to Concord Township in an amount not to exceed $35,000, and authorizing the chair of the Board of Trustees to execute on behalf of Concord Township.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair, I move to approve purchase order to Byler's Roofing and Construction in the amount of $25,000 for the construction of a pole building for the Fire Station 2 temporary facility.
And I second.
And just so the community understands a little bit further explanation on this, before we get into construction on Station 2, we will be moving personnel from Station 2 over to the property we own on Knollwood and 84.
yeah,
Staffing there will be, our staff will be housed there. Our service department is been started the cut-in through a drive that will go to the rear, and we'll be putting in this pole building at the rear of the property to house fire apparatus temporarily while the construction's being done.
Thank you.
Any questions, let us know. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I vote to approve the appointment of part-time fire inspector Brian Spangenberger to the position of full-time fire inspector effective 4/6/2026.
I'll second.
Just to be clear, it's a motion.
Motion, yes. Motion.
I'll second that
All in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair, I move to approve Fire Department assignment of firefighter Dan Zdrabev to the position of part-time regular firefighter paramedic effective May 3rd, 2026.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and moving on, Mr. Rose will now read the Lake County Department of Job and Family Services proclamation, please.
thank you, Mr. Dondorfer. Lake County Department of Job and Family Services proclamation. Whereas all children of our community have the right to live and grow in a safe, secure, and supportive environment, enter school prepared to succeed, be able to choose healthy behaviors, and grow to successful adulthood. And whereas we, the leaders of this community, acknowledge that those rights are not always available to all children, and although there have been significant progress to increase the safety and security of our children, we renew our commitment to protecting our most valuable resource. And whereas during 2025, Lake County Children's Services responded to 1,500 calls regarding children and their families as a result. Children's Services worked with approximately 1,000 children who were presented with a variety of issues which could not be easily resolved. And whereas over 100 foster families, adoptive families, relatives, and other alternative caregivers provided a safe environment for children who were unable to be in their family home. And whereas statistics show that a great majority of children who have died from child maltreatment in the state of Ohio were under the age of 5 years old, thus never having the chance to attend kindergarten. And statistics further show that survivors of child abuse and neglect are at greater risk for problems later in life that affect not just the child and family, but our society as a whole. Whereas the best prevention of child abuse can only be done if we, both as a society and as individuals, take responsibility to offer parents and families the support and tools they need to provide healthy, nurturing homes for their children. Therefore, we shall declare April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Concord Township, and we urge the citizens of our community to join with us to become involved in activities this month and all throughout the year to raise the awareness of child abuse and to focus our attention on providing safe environments for children and fostering confident, positive parents. Dated April 1st in the year 2026, Concord Township Board of Trustees. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Okay, and that brings us to our future meetings and announcements. Mr. Patriarca.
Thank you. April 7th at 7 p.m. Zoning Commission meeting here at Town Hall. April 8th, 7 p.m. BZA meeting here at Town Hall. April 15th from 5 to 6 p.m. Trustee office hours in the conference room, followed by our trustees meeting here at Town Hall at 6 p.m. on April 15th.
All right, thank you. Well, that concludes our meeting this evening. Good night, Concord Township, and have a happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Thank you.